Have Coffee with Michelle is sponsored by Cincinnati Museum Center. It is time to come have coffee, and I am going to get you wired with this one, connected for sure, because this time I'm sitting down with AltaFiber CEO Leigh Fox. I am so excited for you to meet him, see what he's like. Here's what I can tell you. Big heart, big vision, big music lover, and a huge fan of Cincinnati.
So I went to Colerain High School.
Okay.
I grew up on that side. I call it the West Side, but people from like Elder and stuff, they're like, no, you were Northwest.
You're not, that's not the real West Side.
That's not the real West Side. So.
Something I quickly learned about AltaFiber CEO Leigh Fox, he has a great sense of humor.
I never wanted a 9-to-5 job. I told my mom that. I was like, I'm not working a normal job. I think I wanted to be Indiana Jones when I was growing up. So
that's funny.
The kid from Colerain tried it, graduated with a geology degree from Miami, and traveled the world with a geophysics company before going to grad school. And that's where he got a bug for business.
I had never taken any business classes, no accounting, no finance, but I was very curious.
Right.
To be thrust into the world of like business and finance and like accounting. And
so
it
it's
sounds
fascinating
weird.
to you.
It was so fascinating,
yeah.
Right? How companies work and how they, you know, the mechanisms and like how they function.
Leigh was hired right out of grad school by Cincinnati Bell. That would begin a 23-year career with the company, where he rose through the ranks to CEO, putting his vision in place.
What do you want people to know about AltaFiber and where you're headed?
You know, I think the main thing is that we're not a telephone company anymore. You know, when we changed the name, that was pretty painful. It went better than I thought, though. Telephone companies are dead. As a CEO, my job is to look decades into the future and say, where does the company need to be and how do we prepare it to be there? And so part of that was getting the sort of telephone mentality out of the minds of our consumers and out of the minds of our employees, right? That we need to be something different.
AltaFiber invested over $1 billion in a next-generation fiber optic network, providing customers with faster and more reliable connections. Think of it as the plumbing that allows the internet to flow at lightning-fast speed.
One of the reasons why we did it was I wanted to put Cincinnati on the map. It's where I grew up, right? So I cared a lot about it. We are so technologically advanced. We're better than most cities in the United States.
Really?
Yeah. We have such an advanced network, and it's taken time, right?
I don't think most people know that either.
Well, because you don't think about it. As much as you think you need speed today, you do, but you're gonna need it a lot more 5 years from now, 10 years from now. As technology changes, you're using more and more bandwidth. This network that we just put in will be around for the next 50 years.
Wow. It's
astonishing. But at the same time, we try to take the approach of, that's what we're plumbers. That's what we do.
I can tell you're very passionate about technology. What would you say is your other big passion? Something maybe people don't know about you.
Guitar, music.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been playing guitar for 30 years, on and off, but I'm very passionate about music. I am the guy, by the way, you'll drive down the street, you look over to the guy next to you and he's screaming in his car singing. That's me, by the way.
I do that too. It's a little embarrassing. What makes you love it so much?
So I come from a broken home. You know, my dad left when I was pretty young. You know, I think it's you sort of look to music and art, sort of like heal your soul a little bit, right? And when I was younger, I sort of dove into music, you know, to sort of heal some pain.
Another passion of Leigh's that his team at AltaFiber would likely say is contagious, and that's giving back to the community.
First and foremost, it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Right? We try to start there.
Yeah.
We try to start there in most of the decisions we make.
Because if you start there,
you
can't go wrong, right?
I say that to people, like, you can be wrong, but if you started at the place where you just felt like it was the right thing to do, ultimately you're going to sleep well at night. It is a very virtuous cycle, and I think that's one of the great things about doing the right thing and giving back. It is a virtuous cycle, right? It will lead to better things for the community, which ultimately then comes right back to you whether you know it or not, right? And so I just believe in that cycle, right? And I grew up here, right? You know, and we take this mentality everywhere, but I'm very passionate about this city because this is where I grew up. This is the city that, you know, gave me all these blessings, and you know, it's important to make sure that you give back and you realize, like, you know, stay humble and realize where you came from.
A passion indeed for where he comes from.
We don't brag enough about who we are, right? And we are
It's a Midwestern thing.
Yeah, and we're really cool. I mean, we are.
Yes.
Like, you walk around this place and, like, look at the arts. You know, look at the art downtown. Look at the things that you can do, right? You can stay busy. Look at the culinary options. We are a cool city, right?
We are.
And so, like, that's the piece. And we're cool and humble. We're like the best kept secret. Yeah, and we have the best technology. We have the best plumbing.
Cheers.
Cheers. That's my closer right there. No,
It's a good closer,
that's
too.
right.
I like that. And cheers to Leigh and his team at AltaFiber for their success and all they do for the community. I cannot wait to see what's next, and I have a feeling it's going to be something very big. Coming up next time, small business also making their mark in Cincinnati. Entrepreneurs are doing it big, some of them with the help of this man, Alan Woods of Mortar. His organization helps people with a dream make it real. We're going to get to know Alan next time on Come Have Coffee with Michelle. You may know their names, but how well do you really know Cincinnati's most prominent people? Come Have Coffee gives you a chance to get to know them a lot better. Watch this Cincy Lifestyle special streaming now. Find WCPO 9 everywhere you stream and scroll to specials.